My name is Olivia.
My name is Robbie.
We used to be best friends. I had this idea that we meet up. There was a time that we didn't speak for, was it 3 years?
Almost 3 years. I think so.
Time. Robbie and I basically had a fight in 2020, and then we didn't speak again until we're in 2024 now. We started speaking in 2023, right? That's 3 years.
We started the rooftop of the Didnt on Pride.
I had a holiday party over Christmas in this past December, and Robbie was like, hey, I put everything behind me and like we're back and we're friends, but I would really like to have a conversation about what happened. And I was kind of like, can't we just not talk about it and brush it under the rug and pretend like it didn't happen, because like we're friends now, like let's move past everything. And he was like, it would really make me happy if we went back and if we talked about what happened.
Well, the healthy thing to do if you're gonna like engage in a relationship again, you know?
I agree. Definitely it pushes me to be a better person, because I think that this is the right thing to do. And and I know a lot of people would probably just like avoid having hard conversations like this. So we're gonna get into the conversation right now. And we hope you guys enjoy, because we don't know what's going to happen. Oh, Robbie is doing dry January. He's drinking today.
Cheers to dry January.
But also, you have to tell him why you're drinking today.
I'm only drinking today because I have an old college friend that's coming into town. And I haven't seen her in 10 years. 10 years is aging me because I've been out of college for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
so it's the one day that Robbie's drinking,
which is the one day in January that I went into
dry January
knowing that today was the day that I was going to
drink.
Get fucked up.
Well, but he's not, and then I say people are going to come at you because you're not really doing dry January, because you are taking a break, but also like, who cares? It's your life, like who cares?
I don't give a.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into the conversation.
Right,
let's get it out the way.
Okay.
Avoidant. Here we go.
I would love to hear
my side of the story.
What you perceived the story to be.
Okay, let's go. So let's start with my side of the story. Okay, so Robbie and I were hanging out a lot during COVID. This was 2020.
Yes.
Okay, so there was nothing. Everything was shut down. We wanted to be naughty girlies, and we were partying. Robbie you were doing your thing. You were out in the streets, like you were with all the gays in Midtown, getting lit on weekends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we were partying. We were being naughty. We weren't
cocktails.
Getting the to-go cocktails. Like I was trying to hook up with people. I was trying to get lit. I had been on tour for 6 months, so I was ready to get loose because tour was not fun for me. Robbie and I met up and we went to this party, Tribeca. And I had been hanging around some like questionable people. His name was City. Hey City, if you're watching. I have no idea if he's dead or alive, to be honest, right now. But I was hanging around some like questionable people. Okay, he was Busta Rhymes security guard. I was just like hanging around some crazy people. I was going out. I was getting lit, going to clubs, going to secret underground things. It was like Prohibition all over again. Right? Isn't that what Prohibition is? It's like when they couldn't drink.
Right.
Yeah. When they were
speakeasy vibes.
Like speakeasy vibes, right? So Robbie and I ended up meeting.
Your speakeasy vibes and other people's speakeasy vibes were like completely different ball games. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, because mine were kind of like ratchet.
Kind of.
Okay, yeah. I was just hanging around some questionable people. I was hanging out with like this like girl with like big tits. Like I don't know. Like I don't know what I was doing. Like I really just don't know. Basically, I invited Robbie out because I knew Robbie loved hanging out with the gays. Like he loves partying in Hell's Kitchen, and my vibe is like I love hanging around like straight people because I want to hook up with a guy. And so I invited Robbie out during pandemic to go to this like, how did I invite? I was like, let's come out, meet my new friends, because these were all new friends. These questionable people were all new friends. So I was like, Robbie,
me out because it was the last night that you were going to be in New York City. Before
why?
Before you went back to
home,
Chicago,
right?
So it was your
that's what
farewell.
It was. I don't even remember
evening, and at the time we were still very early on in the. We had just started to like tickle the idea of, seeing people outside of our circle, our little COVID bubble.
Oh, right. You were definitely more serious about the whole COVID. I didn't really care about COVID, to be upfront. I didn't care. I was hanging out like with people. I was getting lit, but I feel like you took it more serious.
At this specific time,
you were more serious about your bubble.
Yes.
Right. Already I'm seeing it in perspective now. I'm like, oh my God, I was already like in the wrong here. But so basically I invited Robbie out to hang with these new friends of mine, and Robbie came to this hotel room. And, right? That's how it started, right? It was a hotel?
Yes, I showed up.
So it was a hotel. Robbie showed up at the hotel. City was there. This big girl boob was there. And like.
And this girl was dressed in like literally just imagine black tape. just like black fucking duct
Me?
tape. No, this girl that you were with.
Oh,
Like her outfit was just like tape, just like covering her nipples and her vagina.
she looked
and,
like nothing against strippers, but she looked like
right. And
like
I mean, strippers are
like
fierce, like work.
she
but
looked
I
like
just
a
wasn't
stripper at a club.
I wasn't expecting. I was just like, oh, okay, work.
We're hanging out with like this girl who actually I found out, Robbie, and this is how you know I was hanging out with the wrong crowd. She died.
That girl?
This girl died doing drugs. The not the girl with the big tits with the black duct tape. There was another girl in that room when we were pre-gaming in the hotel room.
Was she?
She was a little white girl. We were doing like party favors, like we were, and this girl was she was really deep in it. She would be ordering like packages of coke.
Excuse me.
She would be ordering packages of like cocaine like every hour. This girl, and I found out that she died.
That's when I walked in the room.
When we were all like in the bathroom.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. It was like that kind of vibe. So anyway, so that girl, there was a girl in that room that had recently died from an overdose. So I was definitely hanging out with the wrong people. Robbie comes over and is kind of like in shock, I guess. And we ended up going to this party in Tribeca that our friend Bree like told us about. And it was, we show up at the house. It was like the straight boy frat party with like levels. And I get to the party and basically I just remember begging to get in. And there was like this guy that came to the door that was like, no more people. Like, I'm not letting you guys in. Who are you? We're not letting you in. No. The answer was no. And I remember Robbie coming up to me and being like, Liv, let's just leave. Like, this sucks. This vibe is trash. And I was like, no, like I want to stay. There's so many straight hot boys here. Like, I want to go into this party. It's like, this looks like a fun Tribeca rich boy party. I want to get in. I was like begging. I was like begging to get in. Like, I really wanted to get in. So then we had to like pay a cover, right? Or something. Like, he made us like pay. He was like, you guys have to pay, or somehow we got in. The girls got in. And remember that?
No, what happened was you and Bree went in. Bree went to go get one of her friends who could pull some strings, and then he came out and got us.
Oh my God.
They did not want us there.
And you were the whole time. Robbie was kind of like, Liv, like, please, can we just go? You were like, let's go. This is weird.
The reason that I was coming out that night was because you invited me because it was your last night.
I know.
In the city. It was your last night in the city. You were going to Chicago. So I thought it was like a farewell thing for you. So when we got there, I was like, the vibes were just a little weird to begin with.
Yeah, because it was like a frat boy straight party.
Right.
Like,
but then I got in
really
and
welcoming.
you were nowhere to be found.
Oh, and I don't know where I went.
You were in this room.
With all these boys.
with all these boys. And Cole and I walk into this party filled with straight people who don't want us there. Yeah. So we're like, where's Olivia? We look for maybe 45 minutes about where you were.
Oh, wow.
And you were in this room. I don't know what was going on in
I
that
don't
room.
remember. I
think you guys were just partying in the room, like whatever, doing whatever.
What I was doing. Like, I was just like trying to figure out who these people were. I was like, are these people cool? What's going on?
So at this point, Cole and I are like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go to the bar and get a drink. So we go to the bar. And we just start getting fucked up. And we start taking shots.
Right. At the party.
And we're like having fun, whatever. But listen, I can get along with anybody as long as the vibe is good. The vibes were not good at this party. And everybody was like looking at us and judging us. And like, it was just fucking strange. And you still were nowhere to be found.
I was nowhere to be found. And then I remember Robbie found me. Eventually.
After like an hour.
And was like, and I remember you coming up to me and being like, Liv, this party sucks. Like, it's fucking terrible. This is my memory. Like, what are we doing here? I hate this. Let's go. And I was like, well, then why don't you just leave? I was like, well, then you should just go. Like, stop complaining about just stop complaining and like do something about it and go. And that was like, looking back on that was so mean. And I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's
sorry.
literally exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But, and here's the thing, like, I'm not somebody who can't party. I'm not somebody who can't have a good time.
Or like you're not somebody that can't not get along with everybody.
Right, I'm also like, not somebody who's like offended if you're doing something I don't want to do. Like, that's not my vibe. You were telling your aunt a lot that you were with me when you were with these questionable people for like weeks. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
Because it was during COVID. And
Yeah,
you
I
kept
remember.
telling.
I didn't want people to know I was
kept-
hanging out with these people.
Right. You kept telling your aunt that you were with me, and I was covering.
Did I really?
A million times, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was covering for you, like pretending that you were with me when really you were with these questionable people who were then stealing from you in a sublet that wasn't yours.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No, yeah, City was stealing alcohol.
Yeah, he was stealing from you.
Yeah.
And
I
were
was
telling your aunt that you were with me.
I know.
While you were getting stolen from, and you were letting these people come in and out of your house.
You were being a good friend. Robbie was really trying to look out for me, and I was just in a different place in my life. I was just like in that part of my life where I wanted to get fucked
100%.
up because I was not okay. You know, I wasn't okay from after tour. I was like really fucked up. Like I was just, I didn't know, I was lost, you know, and I just wanted to party and get fucked up, and I met these new group of people. So then after that happened, I told Robbie to get the fuck out, and I remember the look on your face. You were like, you looked like a statue. You were like, just like shocked that I had said that to you, and then you left.
And I wrote
you immediately
a
left.
novel.
And then Robbie wrote me a novel. Robbie left, and then I had like gone to another party somewhere with City and with all these other people. Like we went somewhere else, and I ended up getting like fucked up that night. And then I remember getting a novel text from Robbie being like, I'm really disappointed in you. You know, you're hanging around the wrong people. And then what the thing was that I think made me not speak to you was that you were like, your aunt would be really disappointed in you. And that's when I was like, we need to take a break. Because I felt that you were speaking for someone that wasn't you. That you were speaking from my aunt's perspective. And I was like, you're not my aunt. Like, I know that she probably would be disappointed in me, but you're not her.
Yeah.
And like, that's my family. And so that's when I was like, we need to take a break. And I didn't respond to the big novel. And I'm telling you that's why.
I will say it was a little harsh to say your aunt would be disappointed in you, but I think the reason that came out in that moment, in the heat of the moment, because we all know you say things. You have a lot of energy and inspiration to say things in the moment because you're all worked up, whatever. But I kind of was just like, you're telling this person. I have a relationship with her too. And she's like, I consider her a friend, and I respect her. I respect what she does. Yeah. For you to be telling this person who I respect that you're with me and you're spending time with me, and all of these things during COVID, when in reality you're hanging with the wrong people and you're getting stolen from, and I felt like the integrity of like my respect for her was on the line.
Of course.
And that is why I said that. But at the end of the day, you are right in the sense of like, I probably shouldn't have said that in that moment, but like I did. I can't take it back.
No, what you were doing was just trying to protect me, and you are like family to me. So like now that I'm thinking back on it, you were just trying to protect me, and you were speaking for my aunt as if you were my family because you were the closest thing. Well, my aunt is the closest thing that I had to family here in New York, but after my aunt,
family.
You are the second like closest thing that I have to family here, and you were just now looking back. I see that you were just trying to look out for me because I was putting myself in dangerous situations.
Right. At the time, I was kind of just like,
I'm glad that you didn't message her.
I would never do that.
Messaging Purdy and been like, she's doing drugs right now. She's hanging with these people. She's hanging with these like blah 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 crazy people.
I wouldn't do that because like my integrity and loyalty is owed to
me
you
first.
Even though
like in that situation,
you are my friend. I know Purdy through you. Whatever. She's your aunt. That the integrity of our relationship for what it was, when it was, will always remain. If I choose to move on, if I choose to not have you in my life, that's a different story. That's my choice.
Yeah.
And in that moment in my life, I felt like I was in a different place than you were.
Definitely, and we were.
And that's why I was kind of just like...
And we were in a different place. And so that's why I think that everything really happens for a reason. I think that because that fight, it sucked. Like, that was crazy. And it's crazy that we didn't talk for 3 years. But it was at a point where we were at different places in our lives. So, like, a break, I think, was necessary.
It was necessary. I don't think 3
Not
years
for that
was
long.
Necessary. But...
I didn't respond, didn't I?
You didn't respond. And, like, at the end of the day, I was just like, you know what? Like, at one point... we were really fucking inseparable.
Yeah.
At one point, there were moments on the ship where we first met where I like couldn't have imagined getting through it without you. Like we had a really great
We were best friends.
Yeah.
I love you a lot.
I love you too.
I'm really happy that we're talking again, and I actually am really sorry for not talking to you for 3 years. I think that was a little long.
You know, I knew that
But-
you would always eventually come around, and that is
Yay,
why I
really?
never, yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's
And I
20. Can we talk ages?
20, gonna be 30, close to 30.
And I'm 27, so we're not that far apart in age.
Yeah,